You can now buy $1 million duplex, triplex, or fourplex with only $50,000. This will be an absolute game changer for anyone looking to buy a multifamily investment property for very little money. Starting today, November 18th, you'll be able to put 5% down on a residential multifamily property using a conventional Fannie Mae loan. House hackers, let's celebrate! Now, before we dive into the details of the loan, let's first talk about what house hacking even is. House hacking is a real estate investment strategy that involves buying a property and living in one part of it and then renting other parts of it out for additional income. This allows you to get your mortgage completely paid for with rental income and maybe even make a profit each month. And this is exactly how I got started investing in real estate, quit my corporate 9-to-5, and became a digital nomad and entrepreneur. And if you want to learn more about my story, I've got like so many freaking videos out there in my YouTube channel, so feel free to go back and watch some of those. Now, why is this new loan a big freaking deal? And I know, I sound like a grandma right now. I am clearly old. I'm excited about new loan packages, guys. So traditionally, aspiring homeowners wanting to buy a multifamily property like a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex had to brace themselves with putting 15 to 25% down on a property, which is usually a lot of money, unless you went with an FHA loan. And to be fair, I actually went FHA for my first multifamily property, but FHA loans do have their own restrictions too. Now, FHA stands for the Federal Housing Administration, and these loans are actually backed by the Federal Housing Administration. But these kinds of loans are easier to qualify than conventional loans, so even for borrowers with like lower credit scores or people who need smaller down payments, these kind of loans are a pretty good option. Now, FHA loans can be used for single-family homes, but they can also be used for duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. And you only need a minimum of a 580 credit score, but it does tend to be a more expensive loan. It usually has higher interest rates than a regular conventional loan is going to have, and you have to pay MIP, which is mortgage insurance premium, and that doesn't come off, whereas with a conventional loan, it does come off once you get to 20% equity in the property. But with an FHA loan, it stays on for the entire life of the loan. Now, FHA loans are super great, and they really are, but there are some drawbacks to FHA loans, like whenever you buy a home with an FHA loan, those homes are just under stricter requirements in terms of the condition that the house is actually in. And a lot of sellers just don't want to sell to people who are using FHA loans, which is quite unfortunate. But basically, they just want to avoid the headache and the extra inspections that come with it. And some houses literally straight up won't qualify for an FHA loan. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not ragging on FHA loans. However, if you can, personally, I would go conventional, or even better, you could house hack 1 year using a conventional loan and then the following year house hack using an FHA loan. Now, let's get into the details of the new Fannie Mae 5% down loan. This is going to be available for duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, also known as small multifamily properties. And you must live in one of the units of the property for at least a year. As I've said before, it's a great option for house hackers because of the following. Number one, it lowers the down payment requirement. Previously, the down payment requirement for a multifamily was typically 15 to 25% on a conventional loan, which made it really difficult for house hackers to even get started. Now, with the new 5% loan, you can get a multifamily property for way less money. Reason number two is it makes multifamily property so much more accessible. This loan program makes multifamily properties more accessible to a wider range of buyers, including first-time home buyers and those with smaller down payments. Reason number three is it can help you save money on your mortgage. The problem with buying a single family home a lot of the times is that you are the only person paying your mortgage. And if you can get a little bit of extra help with tenants or guests, that makes it so much more affordable for you to buy a house. And with the lower down payment, that means you have more money in your bank account to also be able to afford your mortgage. You're gonna have less money tied up in your property up front, and this can free up some cash flow that you can use for other things, such as renovation projects. To qualify for the 5% down Fannie Mae loan, you must have a credit score of at least $620. You'll also need to make sure that your DTI, so your debt to income ratio, is no more than 50%. That means that your total monthly debt payment, meaning any mortgage payments or student loans or credit card payments or car loans, should not exceed 50% of your gross monthly income. For example, let's say that you're making $120,000. That gives you a gross monthly income of $10,000 a month. Now, you cannot have more than $5,000 a month in monthly debt payments. So okay, 5% down. How much do you actually need to buy the property? Well, let's say you're buying a $500,000 duplex. You need to put 5% down, which is $25,000. And then on top of that, you're also going to need to pay your closing costs, which is usually 1 to 3% of the loan. So we're gonna assume that it's $10,000 for this property. That's $35,000 total to buy a $500,000 duplex that could potentially pay for itself. Pretty good deal. Now, note that you may also even be able to get seller credits that can pay for all of those closing costs, so you might only be left with like $25,000 out of pocket to pay. And this is to get a property that pays for itself, pays for your own living expenses, pays for your utilities and your bills. That's a pretty freaking good deal, I'm not gonna lie. Make sure to talk to a lender about the maximum amount of seller credits that you can actually get on a property, because some loans do have some small restrictions. Also, if you've been following along, you know that I'm launching the Wanderlust Wealth Academy this November 20th. This has been an absolute labor of love, and it's perfect for anyone who's wanting to get started house hacking, investing in real estate, and making moves to quit their 9-to-5, traveling the world. And for a very small group that is first come, first serve, I will be offering a VIP option where you'll actually get to work directly with me. But this will be a very limited time offer, so if you're interested, make sure to head over to my website, oliviatati.com/waitlist. Get on the website, and I hope to see you there. The new 5% down Fannie Mae loan is an absolute game changer for house hackers. It makes multifamily properties so much more accessible to a wider range of buyers and can help you save money on your mortgage. So don't sit on the sidelines for this one. Become a real estate investor, get in the game. You got this. I'm rooting for you. And just as a reminder, life is too short to choose clouds.